Welcome to my channel. HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1987 might seem like an ordinary coin, but in reality, it has a fascinating story and a surprising value. While most people might see it as nothing more than pocket change, a closer look reveals how this seemingly insignificant coin holds a unique place in U.S. history. The story begins over a century ago, in 1909, when the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln penny to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than an allegorical one. Lincoln's image became an enduring symbol of the nation, and the coin's reverse side originally depicted 2 ears of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. This design, known as the wheat penny, circulated for nearly half a century before a change in 1959. In that year, the U.S. Mint unveiled a new reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy. This new design would become the standard for the Lincoln penny, lasting decades and eventually becoming the design we recognize today. Fast forward to 1987, a year that seems ordinary at first glance. By this time, the penny had been in circulation for nearly 80 years, and the design was well established. However, despite the coin's commonality, the 1987 penny holds some unique features that make it valuable to collectors. Many people don't realize that certain variations of the 1987 penny are rare and highly sought after. A typical penny from this year might not seem worth more than a cent, but errors in minting, such as off-center strikes or doubled dies, can make it worth thousands. These rare coins are highly prized by numismatists, and even a small imperfection can lead to a significant increase in value. A penny with an off-center strike, for instance, might show part of the design missing or misaligned, making it a unique piece of history. Similarly, doubled die error can cause the image of Lincoln or the memorial to appear faintly duplicated, a flaw that adds to the coin's desirability. Aside from errors, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. While most pennies from 1987 are worn down from years of circulation, a coin that has been carefully preserved in mint condition can be worth far more. Coins that have never been used in commerce, or that have been stored in protective cases, are considered uncirculated and can fetch significantly higher prices. In fact, some 1987 pennies in mint condition have been sold for up to $40,000 at auction. This astonishing value comes from the rarity of such well-preserved coins. Most pennies from 1987 were used and spent, so finding one in perfect condition is a rare occurrence. The rarity of these coins, combined with their historical significance, makes them highly coveted among collectors. It's not just the collectors who are interested in these pennies either. Investors have also turned to rare coins as an alternative investment, seeing their potential for long-term value growth. This makes coins like the 1987 Lincoln penny not just a piece of history, but also a potential asset. Even though the penny itself may be worth only a cent, certain 1987 pennies have turned into valuable collectibles that can reach eye-popping prices. It's these rare coins that make the 1987 penny more than just a reminder of everyday transactions. If you happen to find a 1987 penny, it's worth taking a closer look. Even if the coin seems ordinary, it could possess a rare characteristic that increases its value dramatically. A simple minting error or a perfect condition coin could be worth a lot more than face value, and the price can vary depending on the specific details. Some 1987 pennies with rare features have sold for as much as $40,000, proving that even the most mundane items can hold incredible value. So, the next time you come across a penny, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Take a moment to inspect it closely. You might have a hidden treasure on your hands. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who's curious about coins, the world of numismatics is full of surprises. The 1987 Lincoln 1-cent penny is just one example of how even the most ordinary items can hold extraordinary worth. Top 2. The 2015 Lincoln 1-cent penny, like its predecessors, is a coin that most people hardly give a second glance. It's small, inexpensive, and often discarded without much thought. However, this seemingly ordinary penny holds a fascinating history, a well-crafted design, and, believe it or not, an impressive value for collectors. In fact, a 2015 Lincoln penny, under the right circumstances, could fetch as much as $18,000. To understand how the 2015 penny can be worth so much, we need to take a deeper look at its history, the intricacies of its design, the minting process, and what makes this particular penny stand out in the world of numismatics. The story of the Lincoln penny begins long before 2015. In 1909, to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced the first ever coin to feature a real historical figure, Abraham Lincoln himself. The original design, created by artist Victor David Brenner, depicted Lincoln's profile on the obverse, front, and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. This coin became known as the wheat penny. For nearly 50 years, the wheat penny circulated across the United States. But in 1959, the U.S. Mint decided to update the reverse design to reflect a more modern tribute to Lincoln. The new design, which remains in use today, features the Lincoln Memorial, a fitting tribute to the president who preserved the Union during the Civil War and gave one of the most famous speeches in American history. This new design would last for several decades, and the Lincoln Memorial penny became a familiar coin in American currency. In 2015, the Lincoln penny marked its 106th year of circulation, and while the basic design remained the same, subtle changes were made to improve the coin's minting process. The 2015 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing series of Lincoln Memorial pennies, though in subsequent years, the U.S. Mint would move on to different designs, such as the Union Shield cent in 2010. However, the 2015 penny remains important because it is a piece of history, marking the continued legacy of Lincoln on American coinage. Let's now explore the specifics of the 2015 Lincoln penny's design. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, just as it has since 1909. The design, which is now over a century old, continues to represent Lincoln's strength, wisdom, and leadership. The inscription, Liberty, appears to the left of his portrait, while the date, 2015, is inscribed to the right. Above Lincoln's head, the word, "In God We Trust," can be seen, a reminder of the country's foundational values. On the reverse, the 2015 penny continues to feature the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959. The memorial symbolizes Lincoln's legacy and is an enduring image of national unity. The words, E pluribus unum, the nation's motto, appear on the reverse, as well as the United States of America inscription. The denomination, 1 cent, is boldly displayed below the memorial, a constant reminder of the coin's value. While the design itself is familiar, there are a few interesting aspects of the 2015 penny that make it particularly appealing to collectors. For one, the 2015 penny was part of a set of coins produced in a year of relatively high demand, which means that certain editions, particularly those with minting errors or specific characteristics, can be rarer than others. And these rarities can dramatically increase the coin's value. Most people don't think about it, but pennies can sometimes be produced with errors. These errors happen during the minting process and can result in coins that are slightly misstruck, off-center, or that have unusual markings. Collectors know that minting errors, especially rare ones, can add immense value to a coin. With the 2015 penny, a number of different errors have been identified, which is one reason why the coin has garnered the attention of numismatists. For example, a penny from 2015 with an off-center strike, where the coin's design is misaligned or part of the image is missing, can be considered a rare and highly desirable item. Similarly, if the coin has a doubled die error, where the image appears to be doubled or slightly shifted, it becomes a valuable collector's item. Even small details, such as a misaligned die or a blemish on the coin, can make a huge difference in terms of value. In terms of value, a standard 2015 penny is worth just 1 cent, as you would expect. However, if the penny has been well preserved or has a rare minting error, it could be worth much more. For example, certain 2015 pennies with unique characteristics, like uncirculated examples or those with specific types of errors, have been known to fetch prices in the thousands of dollars. Some have even been sold at auction for upwards of $18,000, making the 2015 Lincoln penny one of the more lucrative modern coins in the world of numismatics. But why would a penny be worth $18,000? The answer lies in rarity and demand. The U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies every year, so most of them end up being quite common. However, a small percentage of these coins, whether due to minting errors, unique characteristics, or unusual conditions, are much rarer than the rest. As a result, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rarities. The value of a 2015 Lincoln penny can also be affected by its condition. Coins that have been stored carefully and protected from wear and tear can be worth significantly more than those that have been circulating in the public for years. Coins that are graded as MS67 or higher, meaning they are in mint or near mint condition, can be extremely valuable, especially if they also feature a rare error. The 2015 penny also stands out in the context of modern U.S. coinage because of the ongoing debate surrounding the future of the penny itself. In recent years, there has been growing discussion about eliminating the penny due to its cost of production, its low purchasing power, and its diminishing use in everyday transactions. The 2015 Lincoln penny may, in the future, become a historical artifact, and coins from this era may increase in value as a result. If you happen to find a 2015 penny that has been well preserved or features a rare minting error, it might be worth more than you ever expected. Just as with other U.S. coins, the rarity, condition, and unique features of a coin can influence its market value. The 2015 penny is a prime example of how even the most ordinary-seeming coins can hold surprising value for those in the know. In conclusion, the 2015 Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem like just another coin, but it carries with it a story of American history, artistry, and craftsmanship. While the standard 2015 penny is worth just 1 cent, certain rare and well-preserved versions can be worth as much as $18,000 to collectors. So, the next time you come across a 2015 penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know, you might just be holding a small piece of numismatic history that could be worth a fortune. Top 3. When we think of pennies, we often dismiss them as small, insignificant pieces of change. But what if I told you that one particular penny, minted in 1985, could be worth far more than its face value? In fact, the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny has become a prized collector's item, and under the right circumstances, it could fetch as much as $35,000. The value of this penny goes beyond the coin itself. It tells a rich story of American history, artistry, and a fascinating world of numismatics. The Lincoln penny, as we know it, has been in circulation since 1909, but the version we're focusing on today is part of a long-standing tradition of coinage. The Lincoln 1-cent penny was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original design depicted a bust of Lincoln on the front and 2 stalks of wheat on the back. This became known as the wheat penny. For the first 50 years, the wheat penny was the standard design for the U.S. 1-cent coin, but in 1959, the U.S. Mint made a monumental change. The reverse design was updated to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the nation's 16th president. This new reverse design would remain on the penny for several decades, shaping the pennies we are familiar with today. The year 1985 marks a specific moment in the life of the Lincoln Memorial Cent. By the mid-1980s, the U.S. Mint had produced billions of pennies, but it wasn't just about the sheer number of coins that mattered. It was about the changes in production methods, the condition of coins, and the subtle, often unnoticed variations in minting that would make some pennies highly sought after by collectors. In 1985, the design of the Lincoln penny remained the same as it had been since 1959, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, while the design was consistent, the minting process had evolved, and with this evolution came subtle differences in how these coins were produced. These small differences might not have seemed important at the time, but to numismatists, they were a key to discovering rare and valuable coins. One of the most important aspects of the 1985 penny, like many coins from the era, lies in the quality of the minting process. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from using copper to a copper-plated zinc composition for the 1-cent coin. This transition led to slight variations in the coins, especially in terms of how the metal was struck and the durability of the design. Some coins were struck with slight errors, like off-center strikes, doubled dies, or even blemishes, making them more valuable to collectors. In particular, one of the most sought-after versions of the 1985 penny is the so-called doubled die error. A doubled die occurs when the design is struck more than once, resulting in a coin where the image appears to be faintly duplicated. This is a minting error, and it is highly prized by collectors, as these coins are much rarer than the standard issue. A double die error on a 1985 penny can increase its value exponentially. Beyond the minting errors, the condition of the coin also plays a crucial role in its value. A penny that has been well preserved, free from scratches, dents, and wear, can be worth far more than one that has been in circulation for decades. Coins that are graded as uncirculated or mint state are worth more because they have been carefully stored and have not been damaged through use. For example, a 1985 penny that has been kept in pristine condition could easily fetch thousands of dollars, especially if it is also an example of a rare minting error. The market for rare coins, especially pennies, has always been strong, but in recent years, collectors have become more focused on acquiring specific coins that are both rare and in mint condition. This demand has driven up the value of certain 1985 pennies, especially those with minting flaws or those in exceptional condition. And while most 1985 pennies are worth only 1 cent, a few rare examples have been sold at auctions for as much as $35,000. So, what makes the 1985 penny so valuable? It's not just the rarity of the coin itself, but the combination of factors that contribute to its desirability. The penny's age, its connection to American history, and the unique characteristics of certain coins make it highly attractive to collectors. In addition, the growing interest in numismatics, combined with the rarity of certain minting errors, has created a strong market for 1985 pennies that were once seen as ordinary. While a standard 1985 penny might not be worth much more than its face value, those with minting errors or those in exceptional condition are a different story. Coins with off-center strikes, doubled dies, or other unique features are much rarer and have been known to sell for thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands, of dollars. In fact, some of the most prized 1985 pennies have sold for as much as $35,000, depending on their rarity and condition. The journey of a coin like the 1985 Lincoln penny from an everyday piece of change to a highly sought-after collector's item is a testament to the world of numismatics. The pursuit of rare coins is a hobby and passion for many, and it's a reminder that even the most ordinary-seeming objects can have hidden value. If you happen to find a 1985 penny in your pocket change, it's worth taking a closer look. Inspect it carefully for any signs of a minting error, like a doubled die or an off-center strike. And if you find one in mint condition, you could be holding a coin that's worth far more than a penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of numismatics, the 1985 Lincoln penny serves as a perfect example of how rare and valuable coins can be. The combination of historical significance, design, and minting details makes this coin a fascinating piece of American history. And for the right collector, that small penny could be worth $35,000 or more. So, next time you see a 1985 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to examine it, because it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Whether it's a rare error, a piece of numismatic history, or a well-preserved example, the 1985 penny may just hold hidden treasure. Top 4. When we think of coins, particularly pennies, we tend to dismiss them as small, insignificant items, things that don't have much value beyond their face value. However, what if I told you that a single 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny could be worth far more than you might expect? In fact, certain versions of the 1991 penny are highly sought after by collectors and have been known to fetch as much as $30,000. The journey of the 1991 penny, from its humble beginnings to its status as a rare and valuable item today, is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics, where small imperfections or unique features can elevate a coin to an extraordinary value. Let's take a step back in time to understand the significance of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by the artist Victor David Brenner, the original design featured a bust of Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, the back. This became known as the wheat penny. For nearly half a century, the wheat penny circulated throughout the United States. But in 1959, the U.S. Mint decided to update the design. The reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, which was meant to honor the memory and legacy of President Lincoln, a fitting tribute to the man who preserved the Union during the Civil War. By the time the 1991 penny was minted, the Lincoln Memorial reverse design had been in use for over 30 years. While the design remained unchanged, the minting process and the world of coin collecting were evolving rapidly. The 1991 penny, like most pennies of the era, was struck using the same basic materials as previous coins. However, subtle differences in its production make it a more interesting subject for collectors today. The 1991 penny, just like the other coins in the series, features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. His profile is shown in a side view, with the words, "In God We Trust," above his head, Liberty, to the left, and the year 1991 to the right. The coin has a simple yet dignified design, and Lincoln's image continues to symbolize the values of freedom and democracy that America holds dear. On the reverse of the 1991 penny, we find the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial, which was designed by Frank Gasparo. The memorial is depicted with great detail, with the words, "E pluribus unum," above, signifying the unity of the states, and the phrase, "United States of America," is inscribed below. The word, 1 cent, appears just beneath the memorial, reminding us of the coin's value. While the basic design of the 1991 penny may not seem revolutionary, there were several factors at play during the coin's production that collectors find compelling. One key aspect of the 1991 penny is the material composition. At the time, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies using a copper-plated zinc mixture. This blend was a shift away from the previous copper alloy composition, and it would lead to some subtle variations in the coin's appearance and characteristics. The 1991 penny, like other coins minted during this period, was created using modern minting technology, which ensured that the designs were sharp and crisp. However, it was also prone to certain errors that collectors often find irresistible. As with many coins produced during the 1990s, the 1991 Lincoln penny is interesting for its potential minting flaws. Coins that were not struck perfectly, that were misaligned, or that suffered from double striking errors are of particular interest to collectors. One of the most common errors found on 1991 pennies, and other coins of the time, is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing parts of the design to appear faintly duplicated. This can happen when the coin dies. The metal stamps used to strike the coin are misaligned during the minting process. As a result, certain features on the penny may appear to have a double image, which adds a unique characteristic to the coin. Another type of error that makes the 1991 penny valuable to collectors is the off-center strike. When a coin is struck off-center, part of the design is missing, and the image on the coin may appear to be lopsided. These off-center pennies are rare, and their unique appearance makes them highly prized by collectors. A well-preserved 1991 penny with an off-center strike could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how pronounced the error is and how rare the coin is considered to be. While minting errors are a significant factor in determining the value of a 1991 penny, the overall condition of the coin is also critical. Most coins that circulate for years become worn and damaged, but coins that have been carefully preserved, kept in protective cases or stored away from circulation, are far more valuable. The condition of a coin is graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A coin in mint state, or uncirculated, condition is one that has never been used in everyday transactions and remains in its original state, with sharp, clear designs and minimal wear. For example, a 1991 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition could fetch several $1,000s, depending on the rarity of any minting errors it might possess. Coins that are graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67 or MS-68, are considered to be in top condition and can be worth significantly more. These coins are often carefully stored in protective holders to maintain their pristine appearance. In the case of a 1991 Lincoln penny, a well-preserved coin with an unusual minting error could be worth up to $30,000 or more, making it a valuable addition to any collection. So, how does a simple penny from 1991 become worth so much money? The answer lies in its rarity and desirability. While the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in 1991, a small percentage of these coins contain minting errors or are in exceptional condition. These rare pennies become coveted by collectors who are always searching for the next great find. As with many other collectible coins, the value of the 1991 penny is driven by supply and demand. The rarer the coin, the higher the price it can command on the market. The 1991 Lincoln penny also stands out because of the ongoing evolution of coinage in the United States. In the years following the production of the 1991 penny, there have been various design changes, material shifts, and even debates over whether to eliminate the penny entirely. As a result, coins like the 1991 penny have become nostalgic for collectors and investors who appreciate the history and significance of each design. In addition, as fewer pennies are minted each year, older pennies, especially those from specific years like 1991, become rarer and more valuable. This is part of the appeal of collecting these coins. They tell the story of a changing nation and an evolving currency system. The world of coin collecting is filled with hidden treasures, and the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a perfect example of how even the most ordinary-seeming coins can hold extraordinary value. While the standard 1991 penny might seem like nothing more than a piece of change, certain rare versions, whether due to minting errors, exceptional condition, or simply because they have been carefully preserved, can fetch remarkable prices. So, what does all this mean for you? If you come across a 1991 penny, it's worth taking a closer look. Don't simply toss it into your jar of change. Check it for any unusual characteristics, whether it's a doubled die, off-center strike, or any other minting error. If you find something rare or in excellent condition, you might just be holding a small fortune in your hands. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to learn about numismatics, the 1991 Lincoln penny is a coin that could prove to be a valuable addition to any collection. In conclusion, the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than just a piece of currency. It's a reminder of the history, artistry, and craftsmanship that go into creating American coins. From its simple, timeless design to the rare errors that make it so valuable today, the 1991 penny is a treasure that continues to captivate collectors and investors alike. So, the next time you find one, don't overlook it. It might just be worth far more than a penny.